Would take me home. And I heard, hey kid, get out of the road. Alô? Buenas noches. Deixa eu abrir o jogo. Change what you done. Ai, ai. Então, guys, ontem a gente parou, a gente achou nosso pad, qual é o nome? Distintivo, pra falar com a negociadora do Wild Pines lá. Ah, não, mentira. Era isso?
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
Ah, o do tráfego, é.
Yes, my eyes on the harbour have sent word to that effect. What have you discovered? It doesn't really matter, and I do apologize for the surveillance. Wild Pines can't afford to be blind at a time like this.
Perfeito.
One of the tall buildings overlooking the roundabout, most likely. That would give them a read on the entire quarter.
In any case, it's a relief to know someone has looked into it. If I may ask, will there be an official investigation?
Sim, tem uma operação.
There is an investigation. It will be part of an ongoing operation, subject to confidentiality. I am sure you understand.
Of course, detectives. In any case, you've held up your end of our arrangement. I trust you with the rest. Now it's my turn.
Perfeito.
I wouldn't normally break protocol like this, but the situation demands it. If you don't solve this murder, I'm afraid we may have a bloodbath on our hands.
The words bloodbath sound cold in her mouth. They taste of iron and strawberries.
Como era essa história de banho de sangue?
Yes. I'm afraid this strike may descend into a small-scale civil war, with possible consequences for all of Rivershoal West.
Since you are sharing, ma'am, this is also the RCM's worst-case scenario.
Then we're on the same page, as grim as it may be.
Eu vou falar sobre uma conexão entre o linchamento e a greve, mas eu preciso de seu testemunho.
I have an indirect role to play, I'm sad to say. My employer experienced a momentary lapse of faith in me. In that moment, they elected to deploy a private military contractor as an insurance measure. They called it my security detail.
Lapso momentâneo de desconfiança?
They were dispatched after I relayed the union's initial offer.
Every worker...
A member of the board. I tried to convince my employer it was simply an opening gambit, like you suggested, or a joke even. They did not appreciate the humor.
É. Você precisa de destacamento de segurança?
Absolutely not. These mercenaries are muscle, pure and simple. They are meant to intimidate the Union into surrendering.
Who are they, exactly?
Crenell, an Oranese military company. As far as I know, 3 arrived in Martinez. They report to me sporadically, but they do not answer to me. To be frank, our relationship is deteriorating.
Tem 3 seguranças dela.
They wear ceramic armor, have semi-automatic weapons and years of combat experience. They also have trauma and stressor disorder and no idea how to conduct themselves in an urban civilian environment.
So, what happened?
The story is, one of them, the colonel, I don't know his real name, sexually assaulted a local woman while he was drunk and separated from his unit. This allowed some of the more militant Union members to subdue him. He was taken out behind the whirling in rags and lynched last Sunday night.
Depois?
Nothing. Mr. Clare refuses to let me into the harbour. I have not been able to discuss this matter with anyone there. The remaining 2 Crenell contractors carry out their orders, for now.
Por hora?
It's a smokescreen. In secret, they are conducting an independent military tribunal into the lynching.
Eita.
Once this investigation is concluded, executions will follow.
What is the nature of this so-called investigation?
Whether to execute one, some, or all of the Union militants.
Isso não é tão disco.
It was the Union who strung him from that tree. My hope is that you provide a single concrete suspect before Crenell indiscriminately pick theirs. Simply put, if you don't pin this on someone good and do it fast, they will identify and execute everyone present at the lynching. This in turn will force the Union to respond.
The Débardeurs have over 2,000 men. It will be 1,000 to 1.
Have you ever seen a hornet invade a beehive, Lieutenant? It's not pretty.
The Serai's giant hornet, the world's second largest
foda-se.
These men work in tandem using semi and fully automatic firearms. Their armor is virtually impenetrable to muzzle-loaded weapons, even yours. Most Union workers don't have guns at all. As I said, a bloodbath.
Esse não é um cenário bastante sombrio que você está descrevendo?
Many bleak scenarios have already come true, Lieutenant W. Frater Dubois. All we can do is keep the rest from going the same way. One single concrete suspect delivered into civil court, and I may be able to defuse this situation.
Tá, o que você pode contar sobre a Crenell?
Not much. Their public resume is relatively good, as far as private military contractors go. I believe they were once called Downwell. They boast a long list of clients.
Matisse, Westman Lawrence,
Eintracht. A warning sign, however.
Vai terceiro quarto mundo. Instalações de missão de escolta e
Meaning
militares.
they're used to operating in war zones.
Yes. All the good conflict corridors. Supramundi, Yesut, the Seminese Islands. Countries that don't have a good record reporting atrocious military conduct on their soil. Sadly, no. Before this happened, I had little interest in them. Now that I do, I don't have the resources. If you still have access to the ICP's database, you could run a better background check than I ever could. It may take some time, though.
Do you know a lot about the inner workings of the RCM and the ICP, ma'am?
In my line of work, it pays to do your research. I was prepared to deal with the RCM. I did not think I'd be dealing with a group like Crenell.
Você pode contatar a firma? Chamá-lo de volta?
I have. And they will. However, these orders take time to reach what is basically a rogue unit out in the field here. Until they do, it's all on us.
Maravilha.
She's being truthful. She is pressing them as hard as she can.
Você disse que a vítima agrediu uma mulher?
Or he didn't. This is information passed on to me from some teenagers loitering around the canal. I cannot testify by it.
Quem passa a informação então?
The remaining contractors. Their tribunal. It's what they believe.
Os adolescentes disseram?
That the man was killed because he assaulted a local woman. I've asked around a bit. This seems to be the accepted story.
Foi o que os advogados falaram.
The lieutenant consults his notebook, his eyebrows knitted in concentration.
Odd. We haven't heard any reports about an assault in connection with the lynching. Where did it take place? And when?
Os advogados falaram, pô, não?
Last Sunday night, at the Whirling in Rags, the hostel by the gates. Supposedly, the colonel was drunk. Maybe on narcotics, too. Either way, he's alleged to have sexually assaulted a woman. Sometime later, a group of dock workers got their hands on him.
Quem era essa mulher?
That's a good question, officer. I don't have the slightest idea. As I said, it's a rumor. About a rumor. In any case, it's what the colonel's remaining colleagues believe.
You meet her soon enough, you feel.
Tá. Esse coronel, você conhecia ele?
If you mean did I see him alive, yes. But I did not know him.
O nome dele era?
Lely. His service name. A nom de guerre, most likely. He wouldn't divulge his full name. Only one of them did. A bad sign if there ever was one.
Mais sobre os outros.
One is a man. Corty, they call him. A nickname as well. The other a woman. Phyllis DePaul. Corty is the gunner, I believe. DePaul is
What would you say was his eye color? The deceased.
She closes her eyes.
I can't remember.
The lieutenant was testing her, asking a small detail first to see if she knew him better than she let on.
Tá.
She passed.
That's all right, man. Anything else? Nationality? What would you say was his age?
He was 40. Or 50. It's hard to say which. He had a combat injury on his lower jaw. It made it difficult to estimate his age. or gauge his facial expression.
Indeed. This matches the dental reconstruction we saw on the body. What else? Nationality? Accent?
He was, Occidental, I
Ações
think.
claras, sangue misturado,
Light
orangés
brown
messianino.
hair, a mixed
Messianino.
accent. In a way, it was humanizing. He had to learn to speak through it. Through the injury. That's all I know, I guess. I only met him once.
Onde estão os adversários
They'd
restantes?
gone to ground, as it were. I don't recommend seeking them out. For one, they're almost certainly armed to the teeth. They don't have the same respect for the Revachol citizens' militia as I do. To put it bluntly, they think you're vigilantes. Ghetto savages. It will not be a fruitful meeting.
A gente nem precisa saber, né?
You're likely to run into them eventually. When that happens, I'll be in a better position to mediate if I don't appear involved.
Onde estão os mercenários?
One is obviously the scab leader at the harbour gates.
Ah,
The
sim.
one chanting the idiotic slogans.
É, imaginei que era ele.
barely maintaining his disguise. The other has a vantage point in a building south of the roundabout. They were keeping tabs on you while you were canvassing the lorry drivers.
O tonto vestido roupa de apertada ativador perto da entrada do porto.
That may be so. I still hope you heed my advice. There's no need to kick the hornet's nest.
For all your talk of averting this catastrophe, the situation at the gate is a powder keg. Does this not bother you?
Of course it bothers me, Lieutenant. But my hands are tied. How would my employer react if it appeared I were intervening on behalf of the Union?
Your concern may be appearances. Ours is keeping the peace.
Deles provavelmente está num dos prédios com vista para a rotatória.
Would afford a good vantage point. In any case, it's practically inaccessible.
Where is your radio for contacting them, if I may ask? Do you have an earpiece?
Heavens no. I'm not an undercover agent. There's a short wave at the ship's wheel.
Tinha outra pergunta pra você.
I hope I can answer it better.
Quanto tempo a gente tem?
Until the executions start? Truthfully, I don't know. It depends on their progress identifying the members of the lynch mob, and their impatience.
They don't report their progress to you?
Not on this matter. I'm afraid they consider this a personal initiative.
Há breve silêncio, e aí volta de garagem do outro lado da Bahia.
It's a matter of days, not weeks.
Tá, dias. Tô no dia 3. Por enquanto é isso.
I am sorry to have been the bearer of bad news. If there is anything else I can help you with, please ask.
Tatuagem.
Of course. Excuse my hesitation before.
Ela se estica sobre o guarda-corpo e recolhe a foto, segurando na sua mão.
For about half a minute, in silence.
It was taken with a trigette not long ago. This is the man's upper body. There were no more markings on his hands or legs.
Observe as expressões da
Her
mulher.
mouth is relaxed. The accordion lines near her mouth vanish. The pearls
Os
of
olhos
her
vão
eyes
lentamente
move
sobre o rosto
slowly
da
on the
foto.
photo's surface.
O que você acha?
Sorry. I was trying to see if I can read the web of interdependencies between these points. The stars. I can't. But that's how you read this story. The points
Não
themselves don't
consigo
have
letras, números,
letters,
nada.
numbers, anything. Their size, location on the body, and distance from each other tells you what they represent.
Como estrelas no céu?
Close. Port cities. This is an Oronese map of the waterways, a sailor's tattoo worn by wayfarers of the Dolorian century, over 300 years ago. The sailors would mark their bodies to map their travels.
Qual a utilidade desse mapa?
The sailor's soul would use it to fly back
Mas
home
volta
if
pra
they should
casa.
die abroad. This is a sort of
Corda
contraption
prateada.
to
Que
be
viagens
wheeled
o
back
morto
in by
fez?
quite a few.
Muito
Vredefort,
forte.
the Oronese capital,
Oranges.
traditionally stands on the right shoulder.
Ele começou em algum lugar perto daqui, eu acho.
What next?
Then he made his way to the Preto Grande,
Preto
what
grande.
I think must be the Stutz Canal,
Meu
an
Deus.
artificial channel through the Occident. From the Preto, he sailed to the Insulindic
Oceano, os
Ocean,
iniciamilhos estão
first to
aqui.
Revachol.
Revachol.
Those are the two constants. Vredefort on the shoulder, and Revachol in the heart. They started the tradition of the...
The old, old world passing by, and the new, new world already here.
You said you can't read it.
I can't. This man was no sailor, and these are no ports. I can understand geographic fragments, but not their meaning.
Vredefort? Vredefort has a military academy The Seminoles Islands saw a recent conflict. In Revachol, he was executed.
Talvez seja um registro da carreira militar dele?
That makes sense to me. We have no more use for a map of the waterways. Just like we don't need sailors the way we used to.
Tatuagens de
For all
mercenários.
the boys looking for adventure, a blood spatter on the seas.
Quem poderia me contar mais?
His platoon members? The other contractors. Though I do not suggest you go and show them that picture.
Faz sentido.
This man was their friend and comrade.
Surely there are other people to ask about the tattoo. This is not necessary to complete the task, officer. It's a dangerous side task. Search elsewhere.
Tá.
I am relieved you think so. I don't think deciphering that tattoo should come before public security.
Por enquanto é isso.
Is there anything else I can help you?
A gente pode dar uma olhada na tatuagem aqui de novo.
An intricate web of blue line. It still kind of looks like a map of the stars in the night sky. But a police badge on
Tá. A gente ganhou um ponto. O que a gente pode colocar aqui, velho? Queria botar intelecto. Eu vou de Speed Corps. Achei interessante, futuro policial. Persuasão. Vamos de Spirit Corps.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? More lessons in basic reality? My favorite part of the day. Go ahead, ask me anything.
O que é? Pense em algo próximo a você.
6 kilometers southwest in the valley of
Chat de
Dogs.
bloqueio na direção de completa
Junior
revoz.
officer to his left, his partner, Emil Mullins.
Você viu o que aconteceu em
whispers,
Tequila Sunset, Martinez?
Yes, he lost his mind. Tilbrook answers, fingers on the trigger. Don't worry, Emil. He pulls it out slowly.
Ele vai se
We
recuperar.
always do.
E sou eu.
You? You're an officer of the RCM.
A milícia cidadã de Revachol?
Preciso mundo.
O que é a milícia cidadã de Revachol?
Nothing more nor less than the de facto law enforcement.
Yes, we are the Revachol Citizens Militia.
Perfeito.
He's being sarcastic.
De facto. Nós somos?
We are.
De facto.
Yes, that means not de jure. The RCM acts in what is poetically called the twilight of international law, both at the behest
que quer
of
dizer?
the RCM's responsibilities are
Eles
defined
iniciaram
by
de
the
descolação e
emergency,
mantimentos. Três
wayfarer
operações de
and
legislação mantendo a cidade
alien
num
class, through pieces of legislation keeping the
entorpecimento
city in a, let's be
laissez-faire.
honest, laissez
All three are good to know when we are out policing.
Então eu sou basicamente um servo de interesses estrangeiros?
There's nothing basic about your role, Detective. It's true that the RCM keeps everything the way Yet, on the other hand, I know these people. I deal with them daily. Let me tell you, dear, they are not fans of you.
quê?
The post-revolutionary decade was a disaster for the
Revachol
coalition
não admite no
government.
inferno.
Revachol in the 20s
Guerra de
was
gangues,
hell,
esquema de privatização,
especially on the
determinante
west side. They
nuclear.
called it the international zone.
Que nenhuma nação queria
because no
reclamar
nation wanted to
responsabilidades.
claim responsibility. The RCM
olha
restored
só.
peace where the coalition
Eles
failed.
não queriam vocês.
That's somewhat of an exaggeration. In reality, ours is a mutually beneficial arrangement. Revacholians get to keep the peace in Revachol, and the coalition doesn't have to worry about it. Anyway, sorry to intrude. Please continue.
Yes, Lieutenant. Permit me to conclude with this. Who you are, to me, is the police. The only legitimate law enforcement authority in Revachol. And if those authorities drink so hard they need help recalling the basic terms of reality, well, I'm here to help.
O que é?
What is all of this?
Que mundo é esse?
What world? The only one, I
O
suppose.
mundo da matéria é seu
The world of
antípoda
matter.
pálido.
The camera of her mind glides over the surface of the water.
O que você vê?
Great bodies of water, forest-covered surfaces, clusters of light where the cities lie. You've seen the montage. We all have. This world is enough. There is a term of endearment they coined for it in the DeLorean century.
Tava viajando nesse mundo, descobrindo mais e mais dele. Arquipélagos, inclusive. Que é
Elysium.
Elysium. O mundo precisa de um nome carinhoso.
It does. There are those who would call it hell.
Que é o inferno.
A term of hatred that originates, like many such things, with the Mesk petro-fascists.
Caralho, acho que não pegou o plano geral.
You want a picture of the world?
Não existe no resultado final, meu caro.
There is no complete
Problemas para alcançar a órbita.
Great things are difficult to achieve.
Justo.
For now, we're viewing the world from the inside, sideways.
Caralho, que papo doido. Qual é a forma desse mundo, então?
We used to think it was a sphere, but that is beginning to look less and less likely by the day. You wouldn't know it from the tabloids.
ORG, Occident Revachol-Grad.
There's a steadily increasing trickle of images. Between the big three scientific contributors...
Corona?
Yes. Pale covers 72% of the surface.
Até mesmo marcos sobre zonas inteiras.
Even arcs above entire...
A cold fear seeps into you.
O que você está me contando?
You seem to be spooked.
O pai de Deus, o que você quer dizer com corona?
They say there is a rarefied envelope of matter surrounding the darkened disk of our planet. That is, if we are still living on a planet. Or, to speak more plainly, imagine vast swathes of land disrupted by nothingness. I am sorry, dear. It must sound quite terrifying through the acute encephalopathy. But this is one of the greatest questions of our time. Maybe when they get the complete set together, you have mis'imagined it. I don't have the power to convey to you the effect. It's like the crowning of the world. It's insane. Very disco. You'd love it.
Bem, se você diz que é disco...
See? Everyone finds something worth holding on to in this world. However wasted its opportunities.
Suddenly, you're conscious of yourself standing there. The lieutenant observes you both, silently. He adjusts his glasses.
Por enquanto, tá bom, porém.
Glad to have been of assistance.
Vamos melhorar aqui o quê? Cálculo visual? Enciclopédia, né? Autoridade com Titus. I don't want anyone, no, we were not. A gente precisa fazer um dinheirinho.
Just an ordinary war. Nothing to see here.
Eu tinha que... Putz, é verdade, tem um cara lá pra fazer... Tem um cara lá do negócio, esqueci que eu tenho pra conseguir o dinheiro com ele. Depois eu fecho de novo. A gente tem que ligar pra... ver se a gente consegue informação das botas.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
This is Precinct 57. How may I? Still no word, I'm afraid, sir. I know it must be frustrating. Was there anything else you want? It was...
Her voice.
Gottlieb, what you get yourself into this time?
What the fuck? Como você sabia que era eu?
I didn't, but now I do. How's the drinking going?
Muito não beber.
Great. Have a medal. I have an autopsy to attend to.
Fucking, I'm not dead. It just hurts, okay?
What the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
Anything else I can help you with, officer? Just a moment.
10-4, come in, officer. Over.
Só fez informar que encontrei meu distintivo.
10-4, sir. Glad to hear that. I'll write down that there is no need to issue a new one to you then. Over.
Tamo junto.
Roger that. 10-10.
Ai, tá. Marido. Titus. Encontrar o cara hoje depois das 9. Falar com o Evrart. Negócio. Tá, já vamos aqui dentro pra falar com o policial.
Again? I can't believe this shit.
You know what it is. It's like the two of you know each other. Just ask him.
Diga-me a verdade, você me conhece em algum lugar?
Oh, I definitely know you from somewhere.
Another life.
De outra vida?
Yes, from another life. A different life. Maybe the life of a police officer belonging to the ranks of the... To what station do you think you would belong in this alternate and totally fictional reality?
41º?
Okay. That's plausible. That's entirely plausible. Now we're really getting somewhere. Somewhere good.
Vamos falar sobre a hipotética DLC 41 que você mencionou.
Okay.
Então qual seria o nosso relacionamento nesse universo alternativo?
Let's be crazy. Let's say you and I are partners. How's that for a thought experiment?
Quem é mais bacana que você? Você parece um cara legal, deve ser como parceiro.
Would you now, or would I be cramping your style? Never mind. Partner.
Quem é meu parceiro?
I'm not your partner. This union is temporary.
A little premonition for you, Lieutenant. Sooner or later, probably sooner, when that happens, I suggest you take his advice.
The lieutenant merely bows his head in response.
Vamos voltar pra
Let's
cá.
be crazy. Let's say, would you now, or would I be cramping your style? Okay. How about you stop wasting my time and get on with whatever you were doing then?
Você tem um crime pra resolver?
Oh, no. You see, I enjoy watching other, better cops solve crimes. And let me tell you, it's been quite a privilege seeing you work.
This isn't helping.
Quem mais tá na nossa delegacia imaginária?
You're not going to believe this, but police officers.
Meu Deus.
Yes, sir. Solving crimes, locking up bad guys, and get this, and not getting that drink on at 2 o'clock.
Eu não tô bebendo?
Just some regular boring motherfuckers in suits and uniforms. Nothing spectacularly extravagant like you, the far-out son of Lang.
Quem é o filho de Santos do pulmão?
Oh, it's you, you eccentric genius. I mean, with your
Vou contar pra pessoal, tem que ser você. Quer me contar mais sobre ele?
Not even a little bit.
E lá.
It's an urban myth about an officer who is so far undercover he can't remember who he is. As I said, just an urban myth. You are not the son of Lang.
He's trying to protect you from further rough handling, dished out by this sunglassed man. Okay, yes, you get the joke. Leave it at that.
Não consigo mais imaginar.
Neither can I, partner. Neither can I.
It's a mere second, but it feels like you saw something. A gram of compassion in that sadness.
E é isso aí,
Yes,
foda-se.
it's a hobby of...
As if waiting for some kind of reaction or response. Something to click. Okay, the man with the sunglasses and his hypothetical Station 41. Weird, right?
Super estranho.
There's something missing here. Something you can't put our finger on. You know what? Just ask him. I know it sounds crazy, and you'll probably get laughed at. Yes, just cross it off.
Again? I'm going to say no. Just to see what you'll say to that. What'd you say?
Certo.
Okay.
Jean, he said okay. Give it a rest.
Okay, I was clearly wrong. He is a firefighter, male nurse, animal control agent, something of that kind. Not a cop. Go on with your cop work. Don't let me stop you again.
Ah, caralho.
I've got nothing to say to you.
Salva o jogo. Aqui não é tempo ainda, né? A gente vai estar com o negativo
Behind
aço.
the dock workers.
Ainda não é
a
hora.
height window. The hawthorn branches.
Tu.
It's you again. What is it?
Autoridade. Falei com Joyce, mas será que vocês se enforcaram? Amigos deles estão indo atrás de você.
Yeah. By friends, you mean his squad mates from...
Wouldn't want to beat up his grandma.
Vocês estão falando que tipo de tribunal.
This is what happens if you take the law into your own hands. Other people start doing it too.
Let them come. The Hardy Boys are right fucking here.
You heard the man. Right here. We're armed. We got the whole district behind
Ele é
us.
doido.
Yeah. A well-oiled murder machine.
Você sabia que uma simples vista pode matar 40 abelhas por minuto?
The fuck is that supposed to mean?
Nada.
Goddamn right.
Terrarium? He's really trying to salvage something out of it.
Esse sapo de crânio é onde você sabe disso, né?
So are the local gangs. The fucking Barmy Army. And the mod...
Yeah. Where are they now, huh? Sent back.
These people are trained military professionals. Special forces.
No, they're not. They're uncoordinated and drunk. We know more about them than you think.
Tá bom.
What do you mean, okay?
Quero dizer, está bem, eles vão pagar você da porra da existência, Titus.
No, they won't. Get out of here with your negative energy.
He really doesn't like you ruffling their feathers like that, on what might be the eve of battle.
All he means is that the situation is serious.
No wonder you cops get shot to shit every day. Can't go to war with an attitude like that.
Beleza, ganhamos mais 2. Tá com 28% ainda. Tá. Por enquanto, não vamos... A gente não tem poder ainda pra mexer. Deixa eu ver se a gente ganha alguma coisa de autoridade, velho. Menos 1 de autoridade. Conceitualização. Nada me dá autoridade, velho. Tô perdendo o cálculo da dor. Tá. Vamos vender umas coisas lá embaixo.
Hello, hello. Let me know if... Sure, let me have a look. Anything else you're thinking of selling?
Não. Estou de cassete vazio. Foto de um casal feliz. Vamos piorar essa porra aqui, velho. O cartão postal. Tá bom, né? Talvez eu use isso aqui, velho.
Another time.
Maravilha. O que tem pra cá? Tráfego além do portão, mais caminhões abandonados. Alguém rabiscou uma estrela invertida nela. Que não dá pra entrar aqui no momento. Alguém quebrou a cerca e o arame farpado.
Rust peels off the bent iron posts of the swing.
In this yard?
He's assessing the situation.
Someone thought they could have a summer house in a block obscure for cheap. It didn't work out.
Que seria block obscure?
A black block. A part of the city left unrenovated after the war.
On aerial photos, block obscures look like dark squares, hence their name.
Essa parte terá block obscure?
Practically, it's not an official term in any way, but look around. No sewage, broken power lines, crime, drunks. Life is tough in the blocks. It's no place to build a summer house.
Talvez não seja algo útil.
Yes, for you to pick up as part of the Jamrock shop.
It's not meant as an...
We should move. I don't think we will solve the...
Tá, deixa eu só dar uma olhadinha aqui primeiro, né? Que tem coisinhas aqui, né? I need money, bro. Acho que nada mais por aqui. Coleção de música. Smallest Church in Sands. Olha aí, ó.
There's no way to listen to the tape without, but even just holding the tape. A pawn shop would have a tape player.
Ah, tem que comprar um toca-fitas então. Abaixo não parece ter mais nada. Temos pegadas. Meu carro. Um barco escondido. Vamos ver o que tem nessa casa aqui. Mais um cartão postal e uma gravata borboleta. Império Interior. Mais de drama, né? Vamos... Pronto, tô estiloso, mano. Tá, por enquanto é só isso.
Great news. The boat is big enough for a grown man like you to fit underneath it in a supine position.
E o que eu faria ali embaixo?
I don't know. Sleeping? What do people do under boats? This is merely...
Ótimo, já achei um lugar pra dormir. Achei um lugar pra dormir. Debaixo desse barco aí, é de graça.
Sarcastic self-pity is not what we need. I understand the situation looks...
You have a home.
Perfeito. Temos uma casa aqui. Opa, mais coisa. Muito confuso, muito bêbado além da conta. Não dá pra subir aqui direito? À esquerda. Tem que ser aqui por cima. Aqui é a vila, né? Olá, crianças.
The scruffy-haired little boy kicks the other one. Looks indistinguishable from him. He watches his brother. The kids don't reply. The stone-kicking one becomes frantic all of a sudden.
He looks just like me.
Sim, eu disse isso.
The boy doesn't answer. His brother...
You're bad with kids.
So?
Don't worry, everyone is. How about we do some police work now?
The scruffy-haired...
É, depois a gente volta aqui, velho. Não parece ser nada pra mim, pelo menos por enquanto.
You're not sure about the melody, but it might be Saf Samar.
Welcome to the fishing village. Please lean in closer. I have cataracts. I still have a golden ear. Come. Oh, welcome, police officer. We don't
Não
cause
queremos
any
nenhum problema
trouble.
também.
We are not here to cause any trouble, madame.
Calma aí, gente.
Oh, of course. Last time we saw you around here was 12 years ago. You also came to take care of trouble then. Wish you did. But still, in Martinez, you're considered an ill omen.
Estive por aqui antes?
No, not you personally. I meant the RCM. So he was brooding, needed some help opening the door.
She says it as if he was on some kind of spiritual retreat.
De que mal vocês estão falando?
Oh, the usual. Dark tidings. Black hound.
That's you, all right. A black hound licking your own heels.
Maybe they are afraid. Because you're an ill omen. But you're still welcome here. As long as men with guns aren't chasing you. And maybe even then. Because that's the kind of fishing village we've built. I'm sorry there's not a lot of room to park the... Ah, look at me ramble on. What brings you to us?
Mais adiante na costa.
Where's the abandoned
Igreja abandonada.
Some things just don't fly, officer. Look around. Who'd go to church here?
So, they don't hold services there anymore?
No, we've tried, but things just
crime,
keep
acidente, outras coisas. Ele fica aberto.
She's not telling you all she knows. Keep her talking.
Well, there's that music. Music from across the sea. It started a few days ago, and now it's blasting, even through the night. And now, suspicious-looking people are sneaking around the church. I don't like that.
Interesting. You could look into this ruckus if you have the time.
Tá, o que mais na costa?
Before you get to the church, there's some ruins, an apartment complex, or some kind of electrical plant. Run-down bunch of houses, empty.
Qual então? Apartamento central elétrica.
I don't know exactly. A pre-war place. It used to be something. Before the war.
Água de nata?
The old fish market up on the boardwalk. No one. That's why it's closed.
Porra, óbvio.
It was
Tá.
now, what catch we do bring in goes straight into a lorry for the Delta or somewhere else.
Tem que haver alguma vez na costa.
You're one of those real estate people with big plans. Used to be a supply depot.
Opa.
We think.
Construção
Sending
abandonada.
goods and ammo across the bay. And now you know everything there is to know about this coast.
Perfeito, tá ligado? Então com itens, com coisas.
Mazovian Socioeconomics. 0.000% of
Pelo menos o mundo como um desenvolvedor de merda. Tudo que foi capaz de fazer foi entristecer.
Child-murdering billionaires still rule the world with a shit-eating grin. All he has managed to do is make himself sad. He is starting to suspect Krasmazov fucked him over.
Porra, que merda. Pega um monte de coisa.
Economic theory. It has, however, made him into a very
Dão mais 4 XP. Porra, que merda. Horrível isso aqui. Perco cálculo visual e autoridade. Porra. Só ganho mais 4 de XP com opções de esquerda. Que merda. I have to drop by. Botas. Dá mais um de compostura e menos um de... Dá mais um de percepção. Beleza, esse aqui é bom.
Hi, officer. Anything I can help you with?
Uma espada, caralho.
A fishing village on the seashore. This place doesn't really have a name. It's sometimes called Illicit. The sign on the street leading here is illegible. Has been since they built this place.
Tenho perguntas, qual é o seu nome?
The name is Lillian. People call me Netpicker. I think I have time for questions. And that was actually the second one.
Indeed. You're all... Ask her about the cool sword. Helps to break the ice.
Bela espada. Ela vem com uma história?
Unfortunately, the factory sold this one with a 3-year warranty instead of a story. It's to intimidate folks mostly.
E é imponente.
It's a regular mass-produced sword, like a shovel or an axe. Nothing fancy, just for intimidation.
Salve, chat. Vamos então.
From time to time, people need a lesson in respect. That's just the way it is. Back in the day, I caught the eyes of many men. And believe me, men need a lesson in manners from time to time. What makes you think we haven't? The truth is that almost everyone, that goes for men too. But they put on an act for us. Pretend like everything's good and living in shit doesn't bother them. Like anyone falls for that.
Contemple, aponte a expressão no seu rosto. Isso aqui vai dar uma merda federal se eu fizer isso aqui. Ela vai me dar uma facada, velho.
No one wants to talk about how frightened they are. But only frightened.
Mas eu quero fazer isso.
What makes you think that goes for men?
Not bad.
Você gosta?
Sure. It looks as if you could face down any horror in the world with that same unchanging grin. It's like a shield.
The traces of her laughter are still there, in her eyes, fading fast.
Você quer ser emprestada?
No, I'm afraid not. Tempting to confiscate the blade I used to keep these animals in check. You would put me in an early grave.
Então, onde estão todos os homens agora?
Some went to patch their wounds, their lesson learned. Others were more thick-headed. And one of them, I ended up marrying.
Por que? Vocês são cabeça dura?
Guess I enjoyed the way he bled.
Eita.
If it is, then why the melancholy?
Quero seu marido agora?
Gone.
Você foi pra onde?
To the waves. The sea took him. It was a long time ago.
Oh, não diga mais nada. Espero que ela continue.
He didn't respect the sea. Went out there drunk like a skunk, and sure enough, one day the boat was found floating empty. The bloated corpse turned up 2 weeks later. Now, before you tell me how sorry you are for my loss, know that it was 4 years ago, and I've moved on. There's only so much mourning you can do for a drunk with sinewy muscles.
O tempo realmente é a melhor cura para o pesar, não é mesmo?
Us working folk don't have the luxury to be bedsick with melancholy. I buried him, mourned for an appropriate amount of time, and went on.
Justo.
Life didn't really change that much for me and the kids.
Ela olha para a vila onde 2 crianças pequenas brincam com o que parecem pedras.
This is neither a touchy nor a very interesting topic for her. She looks like she's ready to go on a date with another, better, drunk. Ask her. Both of you could need some action.
Ixi, não vou fazer isso agora. Mas eu vou fazer isso aqui eventualmente, mas não agora, porque fez pro quem tá aqui. E dá -1. Não conhece um bom lugar ainda, explore a costa, beleza. Esse é o seu barco?
Sure is. The Sun, I call her. Coated with a fresh layer of tar just yesterday. It'll take some time for it to dry, assuming the sunny days continue.
O que eu tô procurando? Não lembro.
Let's see. Who are you looking for?
Ah, tá. Criptozoologistas.
I don't think I know what these are. Care to elaborate?
Pessoas que procuram por animais imaginários.
Aha, like snowmen.
Homens de neve? Nunca ouvi falar sobre eles.
Two old guys have been wandering around here, nose in sand, talking nonsense about snowmen and the like.
Coisas do tipo?
Right. Not only snowmen.
Homens verdes, homens macacos.
Oh, you're getting it. It is gorgeous.
Pra onde eles foram?
Don't really know. Further down the peninsula, I guess. I mean, that's where they were heading. Who else are you looking for besides snowmen?
O marido da classe trabalhadora.
Yeah, I'm not really looking for that anymore. Not much into the middle class ones either. Could do with some landed gentry, but apparently they don't make those anymore.
O marido não é pra mim, está procurando pra ele pra sua esposa.
Wish I could help you with that, but I haven't seen your working class.
She seems genuinely sorry for not being able to.
Por enquanto é isso.
Well, how can I assist you then, officer?
O que você acha por aqui?
Like I said, fish mostly. Sail the waves, take care of the kids, pick nets. Right now I'm tarring a little skiff.
Que mais?
I sell the fish to people in the Delta to serve at their fancy restaurants.
Legal.
Authentic insular Indian cuisine.
Se é o suficiente para sobreviver?
Sometimes I also walk to the beach to see what the sea has given up. The sea is full of surprises.
Keep it professional, man. Don't make it sound like you're hitting on her. This is what is called a conversation. You don't have to be guarded right now.
Interessante. O que você encontrou?
Wood, pieces of glass. Every once in a while we see dead bodies. Human, animal, fish, other odd sea creatures. A mine washed ashore once.
Uma mina, porra?
Bottles, drugs also. Lost cargo in general. Most of the time it's just wood and glass.
All right. Major choice moment. You only get to ask one thing. It would be weird to say them all. Choose wisely.
Sobre os corpos.
Well, you're barking under the wrong tree then, officer. I have no interest in floaters. Seen enough of them in my life already. Very unattractive bunch.
Yeah, maybe stay clear of the things reminded her of the floater she used to be married to. Just saying.
Eu fui meio burro. Peço perdão pelo vacilo. Pude botar pela mina. Agora já foi. Por enquanto é isso. Tem algo a falar aqui.
Yes?
Tá, vamos embora daqui, vai. Porra, não. Vou andar só um pouquinho lá, tá mais pra cá, ver se encontra alguma coisa. Eu acho que tinha umas pegadas ali, né, velho? Cadê as pegadas? Aqui. Opa!
This is it. The scene of the party. The fire pit. Not as such. I'm talking about what came after the party scene.
Parece que muitos vídeos festejaram aqui.
Looks like they were here a while. Judging from all the bottles. The sunken motor carriage provided them a focal point.
Parece que umas festeiras por aqui.
Hey, let's keep moving, detective.
Somehow, it doesn't want...
Money. Money. Ok, por enquanto é isso. Ask on your friends every once in a while. I don't want anyone to be or not. See me at my low, you don't have to drop. Vou vender a caixa postal, a carta postal. Cartão postal, no caso. Ah, você tem pra vender o boombox.
Hello. Let me know if I can help you with... Sure, let me have a look. I'm not purchasing any more clothing at the moment. Anything else you're thinking of selling?
Sim, isso aqui. Vende. Isso aqui mantém. Eu preciso comprar um boombox com você, irmão.
Another time.
The boomboxes wait on the shelves.
And here you are, quality sound reproduction.
The porter reel is just what you needed. The reel's attached to the app. You press the large button marked Commencer, and the tape starts spinning. There's a small delay before the song starts playing.
Mantenha informado, mas distância segura e espere.
Then the organ starts playing a simple, melancholic tune, echoing in the hallway. A lone singing voice joins in, telling you about the tiniest church in Cessons.
Você pode estar sentindo a neblina entrar na sua pele. É mega
Within
triste.
seconds, you know this is the one.
Opa,
The
achamos.
real shit you've been looking for. The one you a click, then silence for a bit. Then the tape stops spinning.
Será que eu poderia cantar isso no karaokê? Eu acho que eu poderia cantar isso.
Of course you could sing this. You could take sad to a whole new level with this. And you already know the lyrics in they're all here. All 3 verses. And the B-side of the tape contains the instrumental version. It's like the world itself is telling you to do it. Only one obstacle stands on your way.
Okay.
Gart. You have to convince Gart to let you sing karaoke in the whirling. After you've won him over, you can... The lieutenant looks at you as you...
Tá, gente, então eu achei a música pra eu cantar no karaokê. Só que agora eu preciso convencer o Gart. Perfeito, vambora. Opa, tem roupa aqui?
Wow, a very large red t-shirt. Oh yeah, the print depicts a muscled man striding toward you. A giant sword in each hand smells like worn cotton with a side of...
Sniffing is okay, but please don't try anything on. Can't. Hell yeah, man. I don't usually carry printed tees, but this one was just... I wouldn't go so far as to say that I'm a fan. Most people don't think that the man from Helmdale... even if the man from Helmdale didn't exist before the adventure...
Okay.
You sound skeptical. Besides, I've been to Kotla. Though not...
It's for the best, because Helmdale is not a real place, and thus he could not have gone there. His theory isn't exactly incoherent, but its logic does suggest some.
Por quanto que é?
That's dirt cheap.
Você poderia me dar de graça, então?
But why?
Porque eu sou um policial falido? Não, porque eu poderia receber você de alguma forma?
I deal in goods, not services.
Instrumento físico, calafrios e menos dor e autoridade. Ah, não, obrigado.
All the old... You see rows of toy soldiers guarding the rest of the trinket.
É isso, valeu. Every once in a while.
Now it's turning into a kind of a...
Salva e vamos tentar passar no negócio.
Now it's turning into a...
Ease into it.
Porra.
Don't go too far. This seems like a personal matter.
You really are the law, aren't you?
Maybe the full-on director...
Ai, valeu.
Can I help you? No, you don't.
You need to approach this situation logically. Ask him why he has the PA system installed if you can't use it.
Por que você tem uma PA se ninguém vai usar?
It's for no one. It's a prop. I'm not letting anyone use it after the great karaoke catastrophe of 44.
O que aconteceu em 44?
A lot of people got killed because some arsehole wanted to sing karaoke.
Caralho.
Okay, yes, it's for some clients.
Beleza, pau no meu cu. Que isso, cara?
Ha! Well, we don't have any tapes. They all got stolen.
Eu tenho fita.
He's lying. But whatever, you don't really need his lame tracks. The man in the vest and the violet shirt, stares at the...
Fine, fine. Climb on that stage and do your thing. Just...
I'm having it uninstalled, he mumbles to himself.
Posso cantar agora? Cantar, gente. Você pertence aqui.
The stage is all set up for you. You feel a little dizzy.
So, are you ready for your thing now? Let me know when I should turn on the karaoke carousel.
Olha aqui, vou cantar karaokê.
I can see that.
Olha e volta no salão primeiro.
There are some people out there, but mostly a post-meridian slumber has fallen on the premise. Not super lively. It would be wiser to perform in the evening, no? But the choice is yours.
Sim, vou cantar pela noite, mas só vou testar.
Immediately, a loud feedback noise startles the room. You feel like an amateur. How are you supposed to hold the mic? Should you just sing into it?
Vamos cantar de noite, gente. Porque sim. Mas beleza, já tem a fita lá e já pode cantar. Quando der noite, lá para as 9 e pouquita, a gente canta.
Looking for something odd?
Right to work. Right to
Você é o mercenário contratado pela Power Pines.
It just has to be said. That was not a convincing line.
Fucking loincloth.
Loincloth? Now you see, that's not really what a scab would say, is it? Better not to press the issue further, sire. He seems tense.
Vou tomar um soco, não vou?
Fucking
I'm going to interpret that as a yes. There's a tribunal.
How about you fuck off now?
Okay, of course.
There could be weapons aiming at us right now. Somewhere above, in the buildings. The other merc. Don't push this, he's thinking. This is not the time.
Tudo bem.
The man's breathing steadies, but his eyes are still narrow. Slowly, he's trying to
isso aqui vai dar merda.
right to work.
Se eu mostrar a foto pra ele, vai dar uma merda federal.
Hola, Wandering Man.
Vou falar com o Evrart. Primeiro vamos ver com essa galera aqui. Ah, deixa eu ver se coisa pra cá, né, velho? Pra passar por aqui. Licença. Passar não?
Your race descent has tempo.
Nothing you can do this time. I don't want anyone, me or not.
The file cabinet stands steady as ever. The drawers.
Audição.
The payphone hangs.
Check in. It's not worth the risk of losing a foot. Even if they say. Vamos descer aqui não. Não. Qual que era o teste que eu tenho que passar pra conseguir o negócio dele aqui? Conceitualização. Porra, 28%. Even if they say. Menos um savoir. Tô com menos 2, tem que achar uma calça legal, velho. Mais um de percepção. Essa bota por enquanto. Você tem algo pra me falar, irmãozão?
Oh, hey, mister. I'm not gonna bother you with a long...
Vou salvar o jogo antes de entrar pra falar com o Evrat. Bora. Fala tu.
Mr. Dubois, a pleasure as always. You don't have to sit down this time, since you've already sat on that chair. Mega rich lightbending guy? Oh my god, how did that get in there? Damn it to hell, Harry. I specifically told my guys to check all the containers for mega rich lightbending guys.
Nada pode parar uma mente inovadora.
Honestly, Harry, we might be moving all kinds of suspicious things through this harbour, but I won't be caught transporting the light-bending mega-rich. I have a reputation to protect.
What the fuck?
You're right, Harry. I am a socialist. I'm going to catch the I shudder to think what you're going to tell me next, Harry.
Not for 1 second did he believe there's an actual mega-rich person somewhere in his container town.
Ok, abre a porta.
I'm very glad to hear that, Harry. One question. You didn't actually happen to stumble in and see what's inside the apartment, did you?
He's trying to figure out if you're lying. There is no way to sway this man in any direction. He is unsuggestible and unswayable. Just tell the truth.
Eu posso ter entrado e visto uma decoração dos canecos artistas?
Just as I thought. Culturally antiquated mug collection. What a weasel. Pissing on Everart's Rainbow Coalition.
He was testing you, and you succeeded.
Thank you.
Now let's get down to brass tacks. It's time for men like me and you to figure out who's killed who and why. Real police work is gonna start happening now. I promise you, Harry. This is gonna be good.
A coleção de canecas que eu mencionei estava no apartamento. Eu encontrei com uma caneca similar no lixo com roupa de enforcado.
Racist mugs in the trash and in the apartment? You guys are just light years ahead of me. I have so much confidence in the ability of your organization. I'm relieved you're doing this and
Yes, yes. Do you think this weasel is somehow connected to the murder?
Oh, no, 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 no. I don't cross paths like that. All I want is for you to succeed in your investigation. I would never complicate things for you.
Ah, até parece.
It seems to be true.
Oxi, mas essa ratazana pode ter feito a limpeza para os assassinos.
Me, Harry, he's a nobody. Just your basement variety nobody. Can't imagine him being connected to a high caliber case like this. But he does live nearby. Maybe it's a pedantic weasel. Fascists are known to be neat freaks. I feel like a real detective right now, Harry. Am I getting this right?
Trabalho policial mágico e baterem com cassete imaginário.
Of course, Harry. I'm not a real police officer.
É esse cara, velho. Cara chato, velho. Eu vou falar sobre a minha conexão entre o linchamento e a greve. Eu gostaria de saber, escutar o que você sabe sobre isso.
By now, I'm sure you figured out who the dead man was working for. The bad guys. Wild Pines. Sent to scare us. Another violent measure of the top hats against us flatcaps. Harry, this strike is the culmination of many, many mistakes made by the Wild Pines group.
E greve mandando uma mercenária desarmada.
A security contractor? Can you imagine that?
Problemas fechados em protesto pacífico unidos pelo espírito do companheirismo. Assassinos treinados para nos ceifar.
I'm talking beasts. Hardened killers from proxy wars in Yisut, Semenine, Sadamoritsa. You name it, they've done it. Raping, killing, burning villages, killing little children for the Senorita Pineapple Company, Harry. Everything they did there, they brought over here. They want to turn Revachol into a third world slum. Honestly, the only thing they didn't do is kill the village elephant.
Tem elefante na vila?
No, Harry, the elephant is metaphorical, and so is the village. But the mercs and their brutality are very real.
Continue.
Now, I haven't personally witnessed the brutalities out there. I have the luxury of staying in my container, you see. If I need to go somewhere, they just move my container.
Eles movem o container?
Yes, I'm an old man, Harry. My legs aren't what they used to be. They lift my office with that big crane. It's actually very... But enough about me and my fun container. The killers the company hired, I think there were 3 of them, all hardened commando types.
Sim, true.
One of them got downright suicidal, getting drunk, violent, a little rapey. Even their own negotiator couldn't control him.
Esse é o seu garoto, aquele que eu acho que a árvore curtinha em cima delas.
Negotiator, you mean Joyce?
Harry, what you need to realize is, we dock workers are not pushovers. We got grit, Harry. This whole neighborhood does. Push us hard enough and we push back. And when we do, we push to kill.
A vizinhança está envolvida. Quem exatamente fez a pressão?
There's a militant wing inside the Union. A group of people whose duties don't involve manual...
That sounds a bit like organized crime.
Sim.
They're like you guys. Idealistic people who want
Garantir
to
que
make
coisas ruins não
sure bad
aconteçam.
things
Se elas
don't
acontecem,
happen.
devem acompanhar uma punição.
Again, that sounds like organized crime.
Exatamente.
So these idealists killed our victim?
One day Titus Hardy, leader of this peacekeeping faction, comes up to me and says, "Boss, socialist democratic fervor drove us to take it upon ourselves to
Tava
kill this
sobrecarregando a
beast."
terra.
He probably worded it differently, but that was the idea. Sure sounded to me like they killed him. I gave them 2 weeks paid leave and told them to lay low to avoid retaliation.
Aren't you worried we might arrest them for this?
Oh, I'm not at all worried about that. These are not the kind of men who get arrested.
Caralho, tá 2 pessoas falando que foram eles que mataram. Eles mesmos e o Evrard.
Besides, I sent my lawyer girl to look after them.
If he's just boasting, then it sure doesn't feel like that to you. He's not worried. He places a lot of faith in that lawyer girl. Perhaps this is a tactical error. Anyway.
Como você sabe que os mercenários foram contratados pela companhia de exportação?
How do I know? Let me tell you about these people. That's their MO.
É o que eles fazem.
Last winter, some poor workers in Terminal E went on a little
Essa
strike.
vizinha. A companhia mandou o escumalha.
Sediment, a
Secretário de segurança.
contractor. The strike was over the
Serem calçados com
workers'
proteção.
rights, but these guys turn up and start beating people. Tell you what, Harry, I wouldn't be surprised
Harry?
if we got the same mercenary company after a little rebranding. And I'm sure as hell not surprised to see an army of scabs under my gates.
So you believe the scabs were organized by the security contractor?
Foi, no final
You
das
said
contas.
it. Hell, one of those guys looks big enough to take down that proverbial elephant. Boys like that don't just happen to show up during strikes.
O nome da companhia é Cranwell, caralho. Dessa vez.
Of course. You're always one step ahead of me, Harry. I'm no genius. I'm in this position because people like me.
Estão organizando um tribunal para peitar os Hardys.
Tribunal? That sounds serious, Harry. We Union men should be shitting ourselves. I wish you hadn't told me that. I'm gonna lose sleep over this. Let's change the subject.
Tá, já sabia disso.
He's clearly happy about the tribunal.
Você não parece preocupado com isso.
Oh, Harry, what do I really think about the tribunal? You're trying to climb to second base with old Evrard before you've even courted him properly.
He wants you to do more things for him before.
Ai, caralho. Uma advogada mirim.
Oh, Liz is a bright one. I paid for that law degree myself, thinking it'll probably turn her all fancy. But hell, Harry, she came back a firebrand socialist. Sometimes she scares me with her zeal.
Sobre Titus Hardy e o
No,
bando.
they are simply fine young men, all 7 of them. Exemplary union members.
Impressão de desenvolvimento democrático socialista local.
Old Theo used to run them, but things really kicked into gear when Titus took the reins and named the group after himself. Gotta love his initiative.
Interesting. Who's second in command?
They're
Boa.
almost all of them great guys, born leaders.
É a oitava que lidera essa porra. Aquela menor
I'm
mulher.
sure they only had the best interests of Martinez and work with them. Hell, interview them. But don't fight them. They really are just like you. Men who like beer, women, and some order on the streets.
He's betting on them being useless to you.
Serem pra você. Você pode pedir eles para cooperarem comigo?
But of course, course. It's the least I can do for my good friend Harry.
You can now go and tell Titus about this. See what he has to say.
Also, Harry, here's 5 real. I'm not giving you anything. I'm just holding out 5 real.
Eu não quero essa porra.
No, I wasn't offering it to you, just holding it out there. But I'm willing to share information. Was there anything else?
Por enquanto é isso.
Was it a good talk? I'm not sure we made much headway here. I was hoping we'd bust the case wide open. Heck, I even wanted to tell you what I really want to achieve with the strike. I don't know what happened, Harry. I wanted you to feel like Mr. Martinez. And of course, I also wanted you to find your gun. But it's like I can't completely trust you. Yet.
Ainda?
Yes, Harry. It's like I can't fully trust you if you're not a man of the left. I want to, but I just can't.
A man of the left? So you have to be a social democrat? He's been hurt too much in the past by men who aren't social democrats.
Tá bom de mim, eu só sou da correria, eu ralo, sem dinheiro de dinheiro. Tá, centro. Patriota.
You're saying it, but I don't believe you. You know how it is. Company snitches, agent provocateurs everywhere. I'm barricaded in this fortress of mine, and I need to get Once again, I require nothing unethical or illegal of you. You just need to get 2 little signatures on this piece of paper, and then mail it to my accountant in La Delta.
Pra que são assinaturas?
I'm glad you asked, Harry. The Union is going to build a modern youth centre in Martinez. It will be righteous. We're gonna get those. There's a nameless little street on the coast with some old houses around it. Most people have already signed. I just need 2 more signatures to get this mission off the ground, Harry.
Quer dizer, a Vila dos Pescadores?
Yes, yes, the little cul-de-sac on the coast, where all the men have drowned, in either the sea or the bottle. A gloomy place, doesn't have that Union attitude.
O que vai acontecer com os moradores atuais?
They are just gonna have to deal with the construction noise for 6 months, and then they'll be living like kings. Right?
Is he absolutely sure the tenants won't be thrown out?
É exatamente por isso que eu tava pensando. Tem certeza que ninguém vai acabar sem teto?
Am I? Harry, these people, Martinez is the most important thing in my life. I would never let anything bad happen to them.
Não confio nem
We're
pouco
gonna
nele.
build a youth center there. The value of their properties goes up, and kids have a place to play in.
He means it.
Opa, também pode falar que tá falando sério. O que você acha?
It depends. I don't think what we just got from Mr. Clare was very useful.
But, he thinks, it's your call.
As I said, it weighs on me heavily. But once we get really talking, well...
He's saying as little as possible, as vaguely as he can, deliberately omitting things.
You bring joy to my heart, Harry. You need to get signatures from Isabel Sadie and Lillian Carter. The cul-de-sac is right past the pawn shop and across the canal. Once you have the signatures, mail this to 13022 La Rocca in La Delta. Then, I'll know you're a solid socialist. Most certainly, Harry. By all means, Harry. What's on your
vamos
mind?
seguir.
Ah, yes. Your side investigation. Thank you. You've got some spirit clearing up phony drug accusations alongside this murder. I'll talk to the mayor and...
Actually, Revachol doesn't have a mayor. He refuses to discuss it further. It's probably just a small nuisance to him.
Tá.
Not even a speck of anger in his voice. That's that then.
Perfeito. Quer que eu faça mais uma coisa? Vamos interagir com isso aqui, vamos olhar já já.
You take the legal documents out of the envelope. A 12 to 40 month construction period and the zoning plan in the...
Vamos sair aqui da cidade dele primeiro pra fazer isso, né? Mas que é mais inteligente nessa parte. Vamos ver aqui fora. Salva o jogo. Nothing you can do this time. O que eu queria aumentar? Eu esqueci. Acho que eu vou aumentar minha retórica.
You take the legal documents
Olha os
at the youth
planejamentos.
center cuts into the ocean like the bow of some great
Se não tudo da praça entre as casas existentes. Ele tem 3 andares.
It's going to be awfully close to the already existing buildings, almost wall to wall, practically integrating them into the youth center. This is either an ominous or cool architectural choice. Hard to say. My money is on cool. Looks like a cubic pyrite.
O que você acha disso?
I'm no property lawyer, but it looks fine. I like the print size. They're not selling or leasing anything. It's not a perfect...
How else are you going to build something? It's always inconvenient to build things, and citizens inevitably have disagreements over such construction projects.
Vambora, a gente tá com 97%, mano. A gente tem uma lógica alta.
There is no loophole. The simple truth is, the current residents are going to lose their street access, and for the next 12 to 40 months, their lives will be dominated by constant construction noise right next door.
Quais são as implicações disso?
Once the construction starts, it'll probably take a few months, a year maybe, for even the most stubborn occupants to get tired of living like this. After that, they'll sell their property for cheap and move out.
I should have seen it. Evrard probably has eyes on us, but we could try to get other people to sign this instead of those listed. Or you could forge their signatures yourself. By the time he finds out, we'll already be gone.
Tá, você aqui, obviamente aqui eu tô no meio do porto, né? Dá pra fazer aqui.
The youth center cut.
Pra qual que é o...
You take the legal documents.
Interação, meu Deus, minha interação é 2. Puta que pariu. Ah, eu queria aumentar. Como é que era? Eu esqueci qual que é. Era concentralização? É.
Gentlemen.
17%, velho. Não dá pra fazer essa porra, velho. Even if they say... Encontre alguém para assinar o documento ao invés dos signatários de foto desejados. E abolição, não consigo. Quem que pode assinar essas porra pra mim, velho?
Hola, Wandering Man. How can I help you? Yeah, the janitor who gave me the key to his apartment said the guy's a bit of an asshole.